It's 3 o'clock. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Chat. What's the word, man? It's 3 o'clock. Wait until everybody get up in here. Wait until everybody get up in here, man. Come on. Altcoin season closer than you think. Or is it? Wise man, what's up, Brody? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see the OGs up in here. Thirsty Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday, chat. Yo, so I am doing the Hall of Fame stream tomorrow, man. So make sure that y'all support. It's going to be at 9 a.m. in the morning. So it's going to be at 9 a.m. in the morning. That way it can fit everybody's schedule. But I need everybody to show up, man. I need everybody to show up. We're gonna go crazy. We're gonna get a little bit more personal on tomorrow's stream, right? So you know, you guys gonna be able to hear like the backstories and some cool alpha, how to navigate across the crypto space, because this space is so big, man. So you gotta really know where to find that information from, and what information is the right information, what information is the wrong information, how to decipher that information. If you new getting into YouTube, and maybe how to regurgitate that information or learn from that information and put it in a way where you and your community can understand it. But we gonna get a little crazy tomorrow. Salute to everybody that's in here. Chat, where y'all at? Where y'all at? My bad, man. I was doing something, or I would have streamed early, and I really couldn't think of nothing to put a video. I mean, we did the Zebek video, right? And it looked like it did get it did jump from that level that we talked about being rejected. So we'll just have to see how the rest of this week ends, right? If it does get rejected at all-time highs, which of course we said it could get rejected. We said it could go into price discovery, but depending on how this week ends will, depict on that candle and where Zebek wants to go from here. So hopefully we can get, a good Friday, good Saturday, good Sunday, and a good close for Zebek, and it can close in price discovery. Would love to see that, but it could get rejected again. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because we are about to see the RWA sector explode, right? And we're going to talk about it in this stream. My Crypto Space UK. What's the word? Don't fade Momo. Momo. Is that the one on Solana that's supposedly like related to Bonk? Is that the one on Solana that's related to Bonk? Anyway, don't fade Momo. You heard what he said, Chad. Don't fade Momo. Okay. Yo, I don't know what happened to like crypto YouTube, but like I don't know, like with YouTube is just like they're not pushing the crypto content like they used to, right? You could have made like a YouTube channel within the finance stream, and YouTube really used to push finance channels. But I don't know what's going on with crypto and YouTube right there, man. I think YouTube is mad about Web3, man, and the competition that could be coming from Web3. Right? Subnet 93. But anyway, let's talk about the market. Right? Let's talk about the market here. So, market looking green, right? It is Thursday. This week has been kind of like a chop suey week. We've been up, we've been down, right? But the altcoins and even Bitcoin is starting to reclaim some of that support. You can see that Ethereum here is sitting at 3,800. We would love to see Ethereum above 4K. That could trigger some pretty nice move from our favorite altcoins. We got Bitcoin sitting here at 116. Would love to see Bitcoin back above 120. That could trigger some really nice move from the altcoins. But the greater market is holding strength, showing resilience, and showing resolve, which I've said. I talked about this in previous videos. I talked about this in previous streams, how we were getting those prints of the sell signals, though the market itself, even though the stock RSI was looking to reset, the price movement wasn't how it usually is. You know, a couple months ago, 3 months ago, Bitcoin started going down, altcoins bleed 15, 20, 30%. But we've been seeing altcoins hold strength, man. It's been amazing, right? Again, we got a sell signal here on the total cryptocurrency market cap. And it looks like we're putting in a higher high, right? What we're looking for is a higher low. In my opinion, a good higher low with the total cryptocurrency mark would be anything above the 21-day and 50-day moving average, and specifically the bull market bands. I'm saying that to say this: crypto continues to be strong, even though you're getting these bearish divergences here on the RSI. So I told y'all, you know, what I personally look at is the Lux Algo Ultimate RSI. It's one of the most powerful trends. And as long as you're printing green above this orange line on the Ultimate RSI, it's a free indicator that you can use. More times than not, we continue the trend, and the trend is your friend until the end. So even though I see a lot of FUD, I see a lot of people calling this the top, I personally don't think it, because I haven't seen our ultimate RSI cross here on the Lux Algo. When I see that, I will let you know, or you can follow it yourself. But thank you for being here on this channel. But anyway, so I'm still bullish. I'm saying that to say this: I'm still fucking bullish. Pump my fucking bags. BTC, total 3, total. The same could be said here for the crypto, for the Bitcoin price, right? Bitcoin has printed a sell signal, though the price continues to react upon the inverted head and shoulders. And we know the inverted head and shoulders is normally a very, very powerful move to the upside. With that being said, if I just throw on the ultimate RSI, you can see for yourself that Bitcoin is still above it. So I will continue to be bullish as long as we are above this orange line on the ultimate RSI. Another thing that's not talked about enough that's happening in real time is we could possibly be getting a rejection at the 21-day EMA. You can see on the ultimate RSI for the Bitcoin dominance, it's below the orange line. And this is why I believe that the Bitcoin dominance will continue to go lower. Here we go. We got a trend to the downside for the Bitcoin dominance. This is bullish for our altcoins. Guys, the setup is the setup is like literally staring us in our face. And to be honest with you, a lot of people is going to miss out on this move. I've been seeing a lot of bearish content. I've been seeing a lot of people just, you know, getting really, really frustrated with crypto. And I think that this is going to be one of those painful rallies that's going to make a lot of people upset because they thought it was over with. So I'm paying attention to the Lux Algo Ultimate RSI. It's below the orange line, which tells me that the Bitcoin dominance can continue to correct. I don't make up the rules. I'm like, you don't see a lot of YouTubers talking about this indicator, and if they start talking about it, it's because they start they watching my channel and they using what I'm using. But and I've researched and tried out a lot of different indicators, but this is one of the most efficient indicators in the game. In the game. In the game. I think that we go higher. I think that altcoins are going to give people a fuck you rally, and a lot of people are giving up too early before. I don't know. I don't feel like we are bear market bearish yet. I just don't feel it. I don't see it. My indicators don't see it. I mean, if you're only basing everything off the stock RSI, then yeah, you'll say, oh, well, we're overbought. But if you take a deeper dive just from a TA perspective and how we've been able to hold a lot of these moving averages in the midst of tech earnings, a lot of tech earnings are coming back good. Stock market is at all-time highs. And altcoins still really haven't had their move yet. So I think we got a little bit more steam ahead of us, in my opinion. I'm not going to say I'm right. I'm not here to be right or wrong. To be honest with you, I'm just sharing my journey in cryptocurrency with everybody as I, go learn. And if I can be as of some type of service to people out there, it is what it is, man. So this is Donald Trump Jr. saying we all went on crypto. Guys, let's check it out.
Where there was I could call any single banker in New York City. They'd pick up the phone. I'd be able to get a loan for whatever real estate project I was doing across the street. Then we got into politics, and all of a sudden, they wouldn't take your call. Right. You couldn't get financing. We were debanked. And what I realized, and my brother realized, because we were the recipients of every subpoena imaginable, was that, you know what, we were actually just the top of this sort of pyramid scheme that we didn't realize we were a part of, that the financial system was totally undemocratized. Because we had a certain balance sheet and whatever, we could kind of do whatever we wanted. The regular guy was messed up. Now we were all of a sudden in the shoes of the regular guy that wouldn't be able to take advantage of the markets. And we said, what's the solution for that? The answer is crypto. These decentralized platforms where you're not beholden to this, where you create efficiencies. As a guy that did real estate, why am I paying points in and out for title insurance that could be done on the blockchain? So we got into crypto not because it was like, hey, this is the next cool thing. We got into it out of necessity. We got into it because we understood just how quickly we could be turned off, even as an incredible developer from New York City. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that we didn't change the skyline of New York City, but that disappeared in an instant. I mean, we're getting sued by New York State AG, $500 million fees for paying back loans on time with interest. These aren't, fair markets. There's nothing egalitarian about any of that. So we actually, as innovators, as people who understand these things, we went all in on a concept that makes total sense because we'd actually been the recipient of how quickly that can be shut off.
Message. Y'all heard what he said about real estate. It should be on the blockchain. Y'all heard what he said about being shut out and how crypto is the answer. It seems like institutions, laws, policymakers are all shifting to the blockchain. And even though I would agree that this 4-year cycle is coming to the end, this is only the beginning of something that could be even more massive in the next 5 to 10 years. Literally everything tokenized, everything in the institutional environment are now looking to move into this descent. I kind of feel bad for like banks. Like banks really have no choice but to like get with the program. Like banks have to become like a crypto wallet, right? They have to make banks. Because I'm telling you, like the YNS, that's what they call them, right? The YNS, right? The youngins. They gonna be using crypto. They're gonna be using crypto. They're gonna be using crypto, bro. It is what it is. And it's like it's kind of sad, to be honest with you, and I'm pretty sure the chat can agree here. It's kind of sad that so much people are disconnected to what's really happening right before our eyes when we talk about like adoption and what's next for the next 5 to 10 years. Like a lot of people still don't understand crypto. A lot of people still don't understand AI. And these two sectors are really, really about to control the mind share for the next 5 to 10 years. I kind of feel sad for anybody that's not really locked in while we are in this infant stage. Because I truly believe altcoins, just the altcoin, I know Bitcoin a little bit older, maybe Bitcoin a kid now, but altcoins, a lot of them, they're still in their infant stages, man. They're still in their infant stages. Here we have Treasury Secretary Scott Bessant, right? Talking about how tariffs are actually helping the economy opposed to what Jay Powell has been saying.
Let's think about this. You can't have it both ways. If tariffs going to hurt the economy, then we're going to pick up, according to CBO, if you want to take CBO scoring over the 10-year window, we pick up 2.8 trillion in revenue. And what we've seen so far is that tariffs haven't hurt. The dog that didn't bark was that tariffs going to hurt the economy. We're going to hurt the market. Market had the fastest recovery ever. April from a 15% decline, and we're at new highs in the market. So I've made my career on listening to the market, not Wall Street economists. So I'm going to stick with what the market's telling me.
That's what I'm talking about, Scott. That's what I'm talking about, Scott. We go stick with the market is telling us, right? So, contrary to what Powell has been saying, tariffs has been not really hurting the market, right? There's been a lot of revenue being generated, and let's keep this in mind. Trump himself said he expects the economy to be booming in the next 5 to 6 months. Now, again, for all the people that's bearish out there, that's like this is the end of the crypto cycle. I mean, what side of history do you want to get caught on, right? You want to, bet on that the bear market is about to start? Okay, cool. Or you can look at it like the next 5 or 6 months could be an area where I can make the most money that I can make and then get out the market. As some of the biggest names, the president, right? He's one of the biggest figures out there, has claimed that the economy should be booming in the next 5 to 6 months. If the economy is going to be booming in the next 5 to 6 months, there's a good chance that the markets are going to be booming in the next 5 to 6 months, which means we'll be risk on. So yeah, you're taking, I think, like checking out now. I think a lot of people is taking these big risks checking out now. Maybe if you want to scale out, but just like it's over with, I don't honestly see that. There is a 91% chance in September now that we get a Fed cut. They done went and revisited. They didn't hit the numbers on that shit. They was like, Powell said he looking at the data. We about to shindig that, rip it up real quick, and give him some numbers that he can't deny. Allegedly. Now there's a 91% chance of a Fed cut. And hey, there's a 60% chance that we get a 0.5 cut. Double it up in October. And then December, there's a 50-50 chance, right, that we get another double up. So I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but betting against the market, right? You're betting against what Trump Jr. and President has said, right? The market is going to be booming in the next 5 to 6 months. Scott, the new, Scott, he came out there. The guy that replaced old boy Gary Gensler, he already came out there and said that economy has been stronger than ever, stock market has been stronger than ever. That's 3 catalysts. Trump's supposed to be signing some type of executive order that allows private equity, real estate, cryptocurrency, and other alternate assets in 401k. That's a whole nother catalyst. We talking about trillions of dollars here. Here is billionaire Mike Novogratz doubling down on a thesis.
Bull market. Enjoy it while it lasts. Never does. We're in a bull market. Trump last night came out and talked about crypto assets being eligible for 401ks. I mean, that's a monster pool of capital. And what we're just seeing is through these treasury companies, through all kinds of different avenues, the aperture of being able to buy crypto being widened and widened and widened. More avenues bringing people into the tent. I think one of the things that I actually didn't even comprehend is these treasury companies have done so well. the public equity markets are so much bigger than what the crypto markets were. And so as we're really broadening our reach through public equities into our asset class, you're just seeing tons of money pour in. You know?
Billionaire confirming that we're in a bull market and also saying there's more capital on the way. So then we got news that every base token will be traded on Coinbase. That's a whole nother catalyst for the memes and the base. And, you know, I've been paying attention to the base ecosystem. It's doing really well. And it's probably going to price this in, right? And you'll probably start to see a lot of runners on base because of this news, right? Everybody anticipating that their meme coin will be listed on Coinbase, right? It's going to create a crazy buy the rumor, sell the news event. And that's like 5 catalysts right there. All right, so that's like 5 catalysts, man. Chat, that's like 5 catalysts. I'm just saying, that's like 5 of them. Million thoughts on base chain and Coinbase integration and coins like either pump next week. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that base is about to be like the star of the hour for the next couple of weeks, month or 2 months. So there's probably going to be an uptick on activity on base. I'm not saying it's going to take away from any other chain, but there's going to be an uptick on base. I've actually been covering base on my watch list. I can actually show you guys, and I've always told you guys, like, get you a good monitoring setup, right? You know, I got my 2 screens here. I'm able to monitor the base ecosystem based on the wallets that I'm actually tracking, based on the projects that's on my watch list. And you can see, you know, compared to the other ecosystems, like, you know, I got a couple things that I'm tracking on ETH as well, which are doing good. You can see ETH chain not doing bad, but almost everything right now that I'm tracking on base is pumping, right? And I like to just compare it to other chains, right? You can see a little bit more red here with some of the things that's happening on Solana. Don't get me wrong, I'm very, very bullish on memes on Solana. I think they're gonna do well, right? But right now you can see like everything, almost everything on base is doing pretty well, right? There is a little bit of overextension on some of these tokens. I do hold some of these tokens, but again, just be cautious because some of these things have already pumped. But I'm just watching them, right? I'm not here to confirm or pump my bags. I'm just watching the basis. I'm not into base like some others, but from the people that I actually track and follow, I'm able to keep up with the alpha that actually happens on base. So yeah, I think base is, you know, has a clean runway to set up the perfect buy the rumor, sell the news event. If you can get into some good, you know, whether it be, I know AI does really good on base, but also these community, these really cult communities on base with some of these memes, they'll probably run as well. So just keep an eye on it. Like I said, get you a good platform where you can set it up. I've also been using this new platform here called Padre. So I really like Padre because they have an alpha tracker. I think GMGN, if you are anybody from GMGN watching this alpha tracker is, bruh, I probably shouldn't even be saying this on stream. I probably should have just saved this for the Patreon or maybe the council. But this alpha tracker here is like Flago. Bro, it lets you know when memes are being pumped in the pump groups where you don't even gotta really pay attention to the groups in your Telegram, because I hate having to bring up Telegram to see what's being mentioned. They already have an alpha tracker that's tracking all of the top groups, like Orange's group Potion, where as soon as somebody mentions these meme coins in these groups, my alpha tracker pops up and bam, I could have a little bit of a, okay, that's enough about that. I'm cooking y'all too much alpha right now. Anyways, I think that I'm cooking y'all too much alpha right now. I think that base does well. That's enough about that. Cooking too much alpha. Cooking too much alpha. Cooking too much alpha right now. Toshi is about to go crazy. Yeah, Toshi is a really good one. All we do is ball, crypto pump. Yeah, I know a lot of people that put decent big money. Yeah, Toshi is a really good one. Pingu, I think Pingu has a high market cap, but you can't really limit the potential on Pingu because people are already comparing it to Disney, right? What is Pingu gonna do? Come out with a fucking amusement park or some shit? Who knows? They might come out with an amusement park. They might come out with a movie studio or a whole movie, right? Like the Pingu brand is like becoming mainstream. That brand. I'm not saying the token is because crypto is not really mainstream yet, but the brand itself transcends crypto, and I love being part of brands that transcend crypto. Tau subnets I just held. Tau. Yeah, well, a lot of people actually don't understand Tau subnets, right? I'm gonna give y'all the number one way to really find good subnets, and I'm probably gonna do a video on this because the FUD that I see on DTAO is absolutely like it blows my mind, right? It's kind of like people that's in the post chain ecosystem. I understand where y'all come from when you get FUD because people don't fucking stand the chain, right? This is the key to finding good subnets. This is the key. The key to finding a good subnet is a subnet that generates revenue that's higher than the emissions from the miner. So miners get emissions, right? Miners, the higher the emission, the more the miners get paid. Usually the higher the emission, the more activity of the subnet, right? You want a subnet, like I'll give you a few. Helium is one. They said they figured it out, right? They figured it out how to create the ultimate token and the ultimate alpha token, right? And I'm gonna give them the credit for this, right? But this is the sauce. If the revenue that's being generated outweighs the miners' emissions, it's a good chance that subnet is a really good subnet and is just going to go only up, like we've seen from subnets like 51, Chutes, Gradients. These are subnets that were able to reach $50-60 million market caps, right? But it's because, you know, that the revenue that they're generating outweighs the emissions of the miners, right? Because miners is kind of like a person that mines Bitcoin, right? They got to pay for shit and do all this shit and whatever. It's like a business, right? People who mine, they sell off the alpha token, they make money, whatever, right? But there's subnet, should I say, out there that their revenue far exceeds the miners' emissions. And those are the ones that pump. It's very simple. It's very simple. It has nothing to do with market cap and 10x, 20x. It's a little bit different with the subnets than a Solana token, SPL token, or ERC20 token. There is a whole different type of mechanism, right? But the winning formula is finding alpha tokens that generate revenue, and their revenue generation far outweighs the selling pressure of the miners, right? So what I personally like to do is I like to watch the buys and the sells of each subnet, and I like subnets that their buy value outweighs their sell value. Very simple, right? Because it tells me that the miners believe in what's being built, right? The miner's job is to, you know, contribute to the ecosystem to help what's being built. They don't necessarily have to invest into the project. They mine to help the ecosystem, but they earn from that incentives. That's why they mine, right? But the miners that generally believe in what's being built, which means they're not just recklessly selling their fucking alpha, those are also the subnets that do very well. And it's some really good ones out there. ETH is unstoppable. Let's see here. For sure. Remember we had that deep conversation about the youth that grew up on emojis are going to be the new investors. And they'll understand is memes. Yeah, memes is going to be crazy. Memes are already crazy. Like me, you can go talk to people, like people know what memes are. Yeah, Aerodrome, Morpho is a good one. Zora, Mammal, those are all really good ones. But try to find the ones that's not extended yet. Like a lot of those are like had crazy runs. I'm not saying they can't keep running, but try to find the ones that haven't run yet, right? I want to give y'all, I swear I want to give y'all a really good base token, but you know, thanks to your video about some Bitcast. It's a gem. At around $2 million market. Yeah. Speaking of Bitcast, they just got a $50,000 buy over the counter from this what should I call them? I don't want to say hedge fund or whatever, but VC from a VC, right? A VC just bought $50,000 worth of Bitcash, OTC, over the counter. 2 days ago, the same VC bought like $100,000 of I think was a Dippy Subnet 11, which I hold Bitcash. I mine Bitcash. I hold Bitcash, but I think Bitcash they like me because I'm a miner that just don't fucking dump, right? I'm a fucking pump your fucking bags, right? So they you know what I'm saying, they know like Billy, he, you know what I'm saying, I got a miner set up, right? And I got a lot of fucking towel, right? But I don't be out here just recklessly dumping on it. I could dump, I could. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, you know what I mean? I got respect for what's being built. You know what I'm saying? I got respect for what's being built. And I think that once people understand how fucking lucrative AI is about to be, like Elon already showing y'all how fast like AI is learning, right? Look at the progress of Grok 4 to where it's at now with like video generation, and it's only going to continue to get better, right? And I use all type of different AI platforms. You know, I know there's one AI platform that creates a whole workflow for you where all you got to do is give it a prompt and it creates a fucking movie for you, like a real life movie. The prompt sends the workflow straight to different AI, whatever AI platforms, and it just works as a workflow, and it gives you like a 30-second, 1 minute movie, depending on how your subscription and things like that. But and that's just the surface level, right, of AI, right? We haven't seen AGI. We're just starting to see physical robots, right? We haven't really seen that become a norm yet. That's become a norm. So like I seen Crypto Banter talking about like how AI is not a big narrative. The bigger narrative is US cryptocurrencies, bro. That is cap. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Like, yes, US cryptos is a really, really big narrative, but that right there is not a narrative that's going to transcend crypto, bro. The AI narrative transcends crypto. Like, sometimes people be getting up here and saying the dumbish. It'd be the really people that really that's in front of people, and like, it's all love the Crypto Banter, but Rand, bro, that take was fucking horrible, bro. Like, AI, like, to just like compare the AI narrative to gaming is just, you fucking hurt my head, dog. My shit still hurting from that tape. I can't even believe you even uttered that. The fuck is you on, bruh? Miner's doing good, so I got about $50 so far. That's what's up. Google Genie V3 is super crazy. Yeah, I did seen it, bro. Like, you can literally recreate worlds, right, in first person, right? That's man, that. Where do you think we're going to be? And this is all happening in 2025, right? How you think AI going to look in 2026, 2027? So anybody like doubting that sector, I can't even take you serious. I can't even take you serious. This is like, what type of mindset for you to say that? That's because prices for everything is up, revenue is up, but consumers are broke. Yo, QFHL. Yes, we are in an environment where things are restrictive, but right, when we say consumers are broke, I personally like to check out the XRT, and then, you know, I'll do research and stuff into stuff like the like Vegas, right? The tourist market in Vegas. Like, are people going to casinos? How's the tourist market? Literally, they're saying the tourist market has been dead, like super fucking dead, right? And then I like to ask my guys in the trucking industry, and y'all can answer. Feel free to answer in the comments. How's the trucking industry looking right now? Is it easy to get jobs? Is it still paying the same? Like, anybody in the trucking industry, let me know in the chat, because these are two industries that can really, really tell you, like, if people are truly hurting, right? If people ain't going to Vegas, and the numbers in tourists is like at all-time lows, which people has been saying the casinos are ghost towns right now. That's a little bit concerning, right? That's a little bit concerning. If the trucking industry is feeling really hot, and we already know the housing industry is so bad that the people in the housing industry are saying fire pow, right? They're saying fire pow. It's people right now in the housing industry. This is Grant Cardone. He says, Powell has crushed the American middle class. When rates come down, housing supply will increase and home prices will decline. The Fed 3x mortgage costs and killed housing in America. Chairman of Fannie Pult says Jerome Powell should resign now. And he's right. Trump says Powell is the worst ever. He's right. Eliminate Powell and replace him with Bessant. So yeah, it's those three industries are concerning, guys. So anybody that's saying that, you know, 2026 could be bearish, I can't really disagree if we are seeing like tourism struggle, right? Tourism in Vegas struggle, right? The trucking industry, if that's iffy, right? The housing industry is like absolutely dog water right now, and the job, you know, the job market, right, is 50-50. Like, we don't even fucking know what's wrong, what's happening with the job market, because we can't even get real numbers. Like, we can't even get real numbers with the job market. Like, what's going on in the job market? I don't know. The numbers keep getting revised. Who the fuck knows, right? So that's still uncertainty. That's still uncertainty. So yes, this is an area where we have to be cautious, right? We have to be cautious, right? Capital preservation is what's most important, because guess what? Regardless of which way we go, if you got capital, you can make moves. If you ain't got no capital, I don't know what you want me to say. Trucking slowing up for me. Real shit. If crypto really want to move to Dubai, where do you? We're not gonna talk about that, man. Alex storyteller, man. Salute. Hey, man, power up. Y'all gonna make me go power up like my boy back there. You see my boy, Super Saiyan God Goku. Nah. You see my boy Gear 5 Luffy, bro. We ain't playing. Powering up. I don't think you should sell based on time. Just look at the simple rule of the markets. If we hit a lower low on Bitcoin on a higher time frame, then you have to watch out. I don't think you should sell based on time. Oh, that's because price there. I don't think you should sell based on time. But I believe you should have an extra strategy, right? Me personally, I just explained to you what I like to look at. I like to look at the ultimate RSI, and I like to look at the time of every historic cycle, right? It gives me an idea of when these cycles end. That's just how I look at it, right? But yeah, I meant to talk about the XRT. With the XRT, when you look at those few sectors, the XRT, right? Retail ETF, retail savings is still pretty strong. It's a lot more stronger than people are saying, right? But maybe this is just the beginning of the run, right? Maybe if we do get easing or some type of Fed cut and things do get a little bit more easier for normies out there, maybe this starts to explode, right? You don't want to start buying while the XRT is like way up here, right? Because, you know, at that point you missed an opportunity to get the best prices, right? So who knows? We still got a neckline here that we got to break, but who knows? But to answer your Christian Pie, guys, I like to look at a few things, right? I like to look at let's just say we're looking at Bitcoin, right? There's about 3 things I like to look at on Bitcoin, right? I'm looking at the price action. I told you guys I'm looking at the ultimate RSI here, but I'm also looking at the I believe it's the MRVR score and the global M2 and the pi cycle indicator, which I think 2 of those we haven't broke yet. We haven't broke the MRV, whatever that score is, right? We haven't hit that area to where it's like Bitcoin is at all-time highs, and we haven't broken the pi cycle top indicator either, which also is a sign that this is the peak, right? This is the pinnacle, right? This is the top. So those 2 things we haven't broken yet, and we haven't broken our orange line on the ultimate RSI. So until that happens, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, right? I will say, based on historic cycles, I am going to pay attention to the time, because all of this shit is just way too close, right? Look at the numbers. The numbers 518, 546, 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, the numbers are just way too close for comfort for you to just ignore historic information. Like, the numbers just too close. They just too close for comfort to ignore historic information. Yeah, we can say, law's never been this lenient. Yeah, we can say, we never had this much coins. Yeah, we can say, the president never was pro crypto, or we never had a Fed that was, you know what I'm saying, lenient on crypto. We can say all of that. But historically, right? Historically, if you're just looking at it 4-year cycle historically, well, then this 4-year cycle is coming to an end. It is what it is. We can find any way not to believe it and trick ourselves that we are in a super cycle, and like the universe knows. I would love that. I would love us to just go into this economy of attention and straight up to the right forever. But like, how realistic is that? How realistic is that? So, you know, just keep that in mind. I just noticed that. Jumper, thank you for letting me know. This is the chart here. This is the chart here that I was looking at. And you can see I got it already mapped out. I got every cycle mapped out, how long post-halving to post-halving correction, post-halving to price peak, post-halving to pi cycle top peak. You know, I got it all mapped out for us. All mapped out for us, right? So, again, I'm not just coming up here spewing nonsense. I actually researched this shit and back tested this shit, and it is what it is, man. It hurts my head thinking about it. But I mean, you can just look at every cycle. Like, we just have this explosive move, right? I mean, but post-halving, we haven't had that explosive move yet, right? Is it coming? Is it coming in the next 70 days? Or is this where the diminishing gains start? Chat, which one is it? Chat, which one is it? Which one is it? Chat, which one is it? Why they be doing me like that? Oh, it came late. It's the only going down around November and December. We pump hard before that, I'll sell. But let's say we don't really pump much, then there is not much to sell. Yep, I agree there. Historically, we go down around November and December. Now that's where I don't agree with, right? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, right? That's been a huge misconception. That's been a huge misconception, right? Because if we break the pi cycle indicator, there's still a chance that Bitcoin kind of like corrects, goes sideways. But altcoins usually run 30, 60, 90 days, all the way up to 120 days. Altcoins usually peak 90 to 120 days after Bitcoin peak, or maybe 60 to 120, somewhere between like a month, 3 months, somewhere around there, right? So like, I like, if Bitcoin peaks, you got to understand that doesn't mean altcoins are going to peak, right? If Bitcoin peaks, right? Bitcoin peaks. Let's go to the total 3. Doesn't mean altcoins are going to peak. Right. Bitcoin can peak, go sideways. The altcoin dominance could go down. We can get multiple Fed cuts, a whole bunch of catalysts, and then we can have altcoin season. Right. So like, you know what I'm saying? And you got like, just because Bitcoin peaks, right, it doesn't mean that altcoins are going to peak. Right. Altcoins still haven't had like the altcoin season. Right. As you can see here, where we had these like crazy moves. Right. 2017. And then 2020 here, we just had a crazy move. So like, you don't want to like hit the trigger too early, right? Maybe you start scaling out, but don't hit the trigger. And like I said, this is just my opinion, right? From what I've researched, right? I'm personally not just, as soon as Bitcoin hits peak, I'm just dumping everything. No, I'm going to assess the market, right? See where we're at, right? And I'm going to pay attention to things like the Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance, and if Ethereum starts to move, right? Because there's you know, what Tommy Lee is doing for ETH is basically what Michael Saylor was doing for Bitcoin, right? He's kind of like going on this press run. You know, you got these companies that are using these cryptos now as reserves and treasuries, right? Tau has one called Tau X. ETH has that company that's being run by Tommy Lee, right? And then Mike Novogratz now has flipped bullish on ETH and has moved away from being the Bitcoin bull to now an Ethereum bull, right? So if all these guys, these billionaires, start pumping ETH is going to hit all-time highs, right? And it's going to take the entire altcoin market with it. right? You know, they ETH and Bitcoin don't just peak at the same time. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It's important to note. It's important to note. Seiko has been more of a leverage trading and meme market up till now. Well, that's great because that's going to be one of the questions I'm going to be asking the panel tomorrow, right? I'm going to be asking the panel tomorrow. I want to know everybody's opinion tomorrow. I'm going to ask them, right? I'm going to ask them, like, what do you think this cycle has been more, right? Has it been more of a diamond hands, hodl, buy, sit and quit type of cycle? Or for you, has it been more of a trade, flip narratives, flip memes, whatever you do type of cycle, right? I can't wait to hear the contestants' answers tomorrow, right? But that's one of the things that I am going to be asking. And again, it's going to be 9 a.m., guys. It's going to be in the morning because that's the only way I can get everybody on at the same time. So it's going to be tomorrow at 9 a.m. So make sure you look for the Hall of Fame Crypto podcast, right? We're going to have one more extra guest on it. So again, I don't know if I'm gonna continue to if it's gonna be something consistent, but if y'all show up and show some love, then we'll keep it going. Bitcoin meme cycle. Smash the like. Appreciate that, John 316. We don't see the only way Jesus coin could go up is at this point. It's gonna do well, man. If Ethereum explodes, bro, I'm confident in Maker and what those guys are gonna do over here with the marketing. I think that Jesus coin is gonna do very, very well if Ethereum explodes. And you should feel like that about your ETH meme coins. So I like Jesus coin. I like Land Wolf. What's another one I like over there on ETH? Maybe just those two. But yeah, Land Wolf. And oh yeah, Elon. Gotta show some love to Elon in the Elon community. So yeah, the Elon, Land Wolf, and Jesus coin. Right. I think if Ethereum explodes, you can count it for those three coins to do well. Right. And you know, out of those three, they're probably going to catch a lot of people off guard because so many people gave up on Ethereum meme coins, and this is why they're going to fucking pump. Because everybody gave up on them, and this is what whales do. They play mind games. Oh, you forgot it. You gave up on it. I can buy in low. I can accumulate, and then as soon as the grass turns green on the outside, me and my whale friends, we pump it. Right? It is what it is. Right? It never changes. I think we're gonna make some great money in Toshi here in the next few weeks. Yeah, bro. I think Toshi and what's another good base meme coins. All right, give me some good base meme coins other than Toshi. I think, okay, so Toshi, Brett, Miggles. I guess we can count those. But then they got like Keyboard Cat. They got the thing with the dog with the mask. He masked up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's a really, really good one. And then they got the GTA guy, Carl Jr., Carl Johnson. Yeah, Carl Johnson. That's his name. That's a really, really good one. So those are kind of like the base memes that I remember off the flip. But they might bring some ones that slept on back, right? I ain't gonna name them because I already know they high risk, right? So I'm gonna name them. I ain't gonna name them, but I know a lot of slept on ones that people forgot about that could start to rally because of all this base news. Just make sure you take your profits because it's gonna be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. These events always are like that. Yes, down the line maybe they continue to run, but it's gonna be a lot of hype and a lot of FOMO. So make sure you lock in. I think what's the name is the Ethereum token too? What's the AI token? Turbo coin. That's gonna be another big mover. Turbo coin, Pepe, Shibi, some of the OGs. They're probably gonna do 5-10x's too. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but you'll probably see one or two pop off, right? Just because of the nostalgia and everybody wanted to be part of something, right? And then you got the Mirage tokens, right? His list is long. It's too many memes, man. I don't even want to get into that because there's just too many of them, right? Who knows which one is going to pump? No one fucking knows, man. No one knows. Anybody get up here and act like they know which meme coin is about to pump, they lying to you. No one knows. And from what I've seen, like they pump what they want to pump. They pump with like the cabal. They pump what the fuck they want to pump. It just is what it is. Floki got listed on Robinhood. Remember I was telling you guys about that strategy? Like buying the tokens that's listed on every exchange, like the top 3, right? The Robinhood, the Coinbase, the Crypto.com. If you can find one that's listed on like those 3, because I don't know if Webull does crypto anymore. I remember they closed my crypto account, but Robinhood, Coinbase, what's the other ways? Robinhood, Coinbase, crypto.com. That's like that's the three big ones, right? That's the big three. All right, so if it's listed on the big three, because you got to think about which exchange that normies are going to download. When they run into crypto, they're going to run on Robinhood, crypto.com, and Coinbase. So right now is probably the optimal time is to look at the meme coin list on those exchanges and just pick out the ones that got the lowest market caps. Because when people run in, and my boy Wise Mind has said it, has a whole bunch of fucking zeros, right? That's like the two selling thesis to a normie. Low market cap has a whole bunch of zeros, right? So if you can find something that got a whole bunch of zeros, has a low market cap, was listed on Robinhood, crypto.com, and Coinbase, I think there's going to be an avenue where liquidity just it's going to be like a liquidity vacuum, right? Because people are going to look like, oh, Shiba Inu, oh, that might be too high. Let me buy something that has the lower market cap, right? If you got something that's like sub 100 million on Robinhood, that's listed on Coinbase and crypto.com, I don't know. That might be a good strategy. I mean, it probably will is accumulating. Shiba and Crow. That's what you buying, Shiba Inu and Crow. Golden Cross on coins. Check your charts. Or what time frame are you looking at? Hey, I'm bullish on altcoins. I really don't need to check the chart, bro, because I'm bullish on altcoins. I'm not bearish right now. I'm bullish right now. BNB, Tiger, Inu, nah, bro. Like there's just too many other good coins, man. I'm not saying that's not a good coin, but like in my circles, I don't see too many people talking about that one. Like, guys, like, I'm not trying to deter you from your investments, but like, how can I say this in a very nice way? This ain't the time to be buying no unknown shit, man. And this ain't the time to just like be trying to buy some unknown. Like, this ain't the time to be trying to find you a diamond in the rough in the 7th round. This ain't the time to be trying to find a 7th round pick, bro, with no badges, and you think he about to lead your team to 30 points a game. This ain't the time for that. We already too far in the season for that. This is the time to be going with the #1 picks, the people in the 1st round. Not this ain't the time to be trying to find a 7th round gem, and you talking about he about to become your starting quarterback. I'm sorry, this ain't the time for that. If that's what you on that boat, you by yourself. Millie ain't with you. I ain't even on the boat, so I don't need a life jacket because I ain't on the boat with you. This ain't the time for that, man. This ain't the time for that. I know y'all be what my boy Thread Guy said. The only loyalty you need to have to is if it's profitable. If it ain't profitable, ain't no loyal. You don't need to be loyal to it. You only need to be loyal to what's profitable to you. That's the only thing you need to be loyal to right now. What's profitable. All this, I'm trying to find a 7th round pick, and he about to be my starting quarterback. If I'm the GM, we got to get you up out of here. We got to get you up out of here. We got to get you up out of here. I mean, what? Oh man. Oh man. Look, man. With meme coins, what matters is community and volume. If you got community and you got volume, you already 3-4 steps ahead of the other memes. Yes, you can make money on a 7th round pick gem. Yes, you can. Anybody can get lucky, right? Every trash can gets a stink, right? But I'd be willing to experiment with you if this was 2022, 2023. But we in 2025, so like Millie ain't experimenting right now. But I mean, we all see Pingu running from like 300 million to 200 million. So yeah, people know that, and it's accumulating. I don't. I think that's a good window though. I tell you the sweet spot for meme coins, right? If you don't want to take a lot of volatility, like 10 million to 100 million is a really good sweet spot where you can still make a boatload of fucking money, even with $1,000, $2,000. You can still make a boatload of money if you can catch the right one between 10 million and 100 million, right? That's a good sweet spot. If you got 10K or more, 100 million and 1 billion. Any good meme coin between 100 million and 1 billion, if you got 10K, you can still make a boatload of fucking money with 10K. 100 million to 1 billion. Just understand what bracket you in. If you understand what bracket you in, you make better decisions, right? You execute because you understand, right? You can't go play around in a bracket if you ain't got, you get it? So like 100 million, if you're trying to make a boatload of fucking money, you can buy a meme coin in between 100 million and 1 billion with 10K, and you can still make a boatload of fucking money. But you put in 10K, right? Now, if you ain't got 10K, right, to put out, and a lot of people may not have 10K, right? Then I would hang around the 10 million to 100 million area. If I got 1,000, 2,000, I'm hanging around. You know what I mean? If you got $100, 100 to $500, 1 million to 10 million. That you need to find you a runner in the 1 million to $10 million area if you got 100 to $500. And this is the realest a YouTuber gonna fucking get with you. If you trying to make a boatload of fucking money with that 100 to 500, you need to find something really, really good in the 1 million to $10 million range. If you go a little bit lower, that's on you, right? That shit is really, really shitty down there, but it's really, really got some really good fucking diamonds there, but it's shitty there. If you go any lower than 1 million, it's really shitty there, right? Now, what you're looking for, right, is you're looking for, let's see here. Let me give you an example. I can just use the Elon chart, right? We can use that, right? What you're looking for is you're looking for charts that look like this. You're looking for charts that look like this, chat. All right, you looking for charts that look like this. You see this on the weekly, right? Like my boy said in the community, you want to make sure in the chat, you want to make sure it has a community, it has history, right? Because if you just buying something that's new, you know, it just came out, it got to dump 80 to 90%. So this is just an example, right? I can find plenty of examples of charts that look like this in the $10 million range, 20, and have sick ass fucking communities. It's a lot of them, right? But what you're looking for, right, is you're looking for the ones that have community, have volume, that may be listed on exchange or looking to get listed on exchanges, but the charts look like this, where it's still in accumulation range. This is what you're looking for. You're not looking to buy something that's already up here. I'm seeing some of the coins that y'all naming shit that's already pumping. If you're willing to wait for a small correction, that's different. But if you buying something that's up 300% on the month, you're risking it, right? Yeah, it can go up another 300%. I'm not saying it can't, but it's more likely to correct, right? Because people going to take their profits, whales going to take their profits, and maybe the project has aspiring dreams and goals and aspirations to build something out. Who fucking knows? They might just start selling for Lambos. I don't fucking know. I don't know. So I want something that already been through that. That's already been through that. But the community's still grinding. They still fucking delusional, right? They going crazy. They really, really crazy, right? What the hell? Why are we on this, bro? We supposed to be on USD. Oh man. I don't even know what chart that I picked anyway. All right, we gotta take that off. Anyway, y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. Y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. Hopefully that helps somebody out. There's a lot of them on ETH that's like that. Jesus Coin is one of them, right? Jesus Coin is a perfect example, bro. I can type right now. I can go on X and be like, Jesus grabbed the wheel or something like that, and I put ticker Jesus. The comments gonna go crazy. All Jesus community, right? And don't reflect the price. So when the volume comes and the hype comes back to ETH coins, and that community is so vibrant and happy and positive, no matter what the price is. That's normally meme coins that are really, really good. Delusional communities are the best. It is what it is. Pook. Every money you need a bigger coin. You can't really throw 10K into something with just 2 million to 1 billion area. But if you can gradually enter with 10K into a coin. What's that? What's the market cap on Jesus Coin? Let's see. What's the market cap on Jesus Coin? Look, I'm not trying to say what your $500 can do or what it can do. I'm just being realistic. That's not really, yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you got $500, right? If you got $500, this is a coin that's in between the $1 and $10 million range. This is a perfect example. The chart is even perfect, right? This is a perfect example, right? I mean, I can't stress it enough, but this is a perfect example. Look at all of this accumulation. And I'm not saying buy this. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying buy this, right? Right? I got indicators and shit that I look at before I enter, right? But this is all accumulation here, the same accumulation there, the same accumulation there. You kind of can see it, right? So yeah. With that being said, you got a lot of accumulation here, and that's all. I think that's good, right? The community is still vibrant. The dev is still posting. He's still active, right? So yeah, this is all good in my opinion. All good, right? And hey, you're getting into something like this before it gets listed on a major exchange, if it has aspirations to get listed on a major exchange. But yeah, 1 to 10 million is where you want to put 100 to $500. You want to find coins in the $1 to $10 million range. It's not hard to do, right? You got to just do the research. I've been accumulating. I've been holding the 36 G's on ETH since October 2024. I got for $5. I'll never sell. That's what's up, crypto military. All right, so that's it, guys. Make sure y'all show up to the stream tomorrow. Hall of Fame Crypto Podcast. Hall of Fame Crypto Podcast. Make sure y'all show up to the stream tomorrow. But anyway, crypto looks good headed into the weekend. There's no reason to be over emotional bearishly or over emotional bullishly, right? It's just kind of like we here, we chilling, we watching the data, as Jerome Powell would say. But we do have some insane catalysts ahead of us. So if you are feeling down or you're feeling like the market is being suppressed, just think about some of the catalysts that we do have ahead. Other than that, I appreciate everybody that showed up to the stream. Thank you again for showing up. If you've been watching this from Kick, appreciate that. I think I'm monetized on Kick or Twitch. I can't remember which one I'm monetized on. I think I'm monetized on Kick, but we need some more followers on Twitch. So if you are watching on Twitch, man, share my Twitch stream. We're trying to get 100 followers. Please, it's Crypto Millie, go follow me on Twitch. So once I get 100 followers, I can get monetized on that. I think I'm already monetized on Kick. And I'm waiting on the TikTok to send me back that I can actually stream from my PC, because I'm already allowed to stream on TikTok as well. So we got all of them popping. We trying to get everybody on boarded from X, TikTok, Twitch, Kick. We got it all here. Appreciate everybody that showed up to the stream. Remember, it's Thirsty Thursday, the first day of the second half of the working week. This day sets the tone for the rest of your week as we go into Friday. Tell a loved one you love one. Stay hydrated out there in health over wealth. I appreciate everybody that showed up to the stream. It's your boy Crypto.